But let's talk about the divestment target which was put out yesterday. 40,000 crores. Sumit Bose, Divestment Secretary, joins in to talk about what will bring that 40,000 crores in. Morning, Mr. Bose. Thanks for joining in. Does that 40,000 include ONGC for next year, or is it X of ONGC?
Hello?
Mr. Bose, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you just make it a little louder?
Yeah, I was asking you if that 40,000 crore target for next year included ONGC.
Good morning. Yes, it does. It does include ONGC. As you are aware, ONGC we had earlier planned in for this fiscal, but since, as the Finance Minister has mentioned in his budget speech, because of better than expected revenues in this fiscal, some of these two issues have been rescheduled, that is ONGC and SAIL. So we have both ONGC and SAIL, the proceeds of both these issues in next fiscal.
By the way, quick note on TVS's numbers, 1.73 lakh units for TVS this time. I think that's better than what they did last month. Last month was quite disappointing for them. So two-wheeler sales have come in at 1.73, and I think last month they did about 1,65,000. So in that sense, there is probably a month-on-month improvement as well. More details on that.
1.77 actually, I think.
77 is total.
That's not
and
bad.
Two-wheeler is
1.73. I think what they did last time. So this is good, not only compared to the previous month, but also the month before that, from which the slip happened last month. I think 2 months back they were at 171, and that's come up to 177. That's not bad. Anyway, autos, the mood is good today, so this all adds to it.
Stock is reacting as well. Mr. Bose, morning. First one, clarification, sir, on why ONGC had to be delayed, because from what we heard last week itself, the ONGC management was filing for the follow-on. So what pushed it back into FY12?
No. As the Finance Minister mentioned in his budget speech, because of better than expected revenues in this fiscal, the revised estimates for disinvestment proceeds have been kept at 22,144 crores. As a result, we now need the proceeds from ONGC only in the next fiscal. Hence, we are still going to do this issue this month, March, but we'll do it in a manner in which so that we can get the proceeds in next fiscal.
Mr. Bose, the feedback from a lot of investors who you will sell ONGC and even IOC too is that they would be very concerned about buying into such issues at such a time when crude is at $110 plus, and with our policy in terms of subsidy sharing, etc., not quite concretely laid out. Would the government want to address these issues or go ahead with the ONGC issues regardless of that in March?
See, we have planned the ONGC issue for March. Again, as the budget shows, there has been provision made for oil subsidies in the budget. Unlike last year when there was no provision at the budget estimate stage for these subsidies, this year we do have over 20,000 crores. Of course, as the Finance Minister has explained and the Finance Secretary has explained, this, as we go forward on oil, whatever depending on what prices hold, view will be taken. So at this juncture, as far as ONGC is concerned, we have enough clarity to go forward with this issue.
And the size of the issue would remain the same, Mr. Bose? You would still look to raise 12,000 crores from the market in the follow-on?
Yes, it is a 5% disinvestment. Of course, the valuation will be done by the EGOM at an appropriate time.
What about IOC, Mr. Bose? Because we spoke to the management just last week and they said, in this environment we can't do an IPO, so it's indefinitely deferred. That's the word they used, the IOC management. And you spoke about 23,000 crores, but all of us know it's a pittance compared to what you would probably need to pay out in a year like this to the oil marketing companies. Do you think you can face investors with that small provision in the budget for an oil marketing company?
See, on IOC, a view has not been taken. As you are aware, even well before this budget, it had been stated that IOC would be in the next fiscal. Now, when in the next fiscal, a view can be taken much later. Surely we don't want to also bring ONGC and IOC too closely together to the market. So IOC we can take a view in the latter half of the year if necessary. But by getting back to subsidies, you see, and not only is there a budget provision for the first time, there is in fact, there will be very little rollover of subsidies from the current fiscal to next fiscal because of a better situation, better fiscal situation in the current year. The Department of Expenditure is going to pay out as much of the subsidies as possible in before the close of the current fiscal.
That point is taken, Mr. Bose, but this time around the subsidy provision is actually lower, which is a little difficult to fathom given where crude prices are trading. But be that as it may, I imagine the ONGC management would have already done some kind of road shows in order to elicit what the interest is on their issue. What's the response been, sir? Because candidly, when we speak to investment bankers, they say that there aren't really any buyers for ONGC right now.
No. ONGC we've had pre-marketing roadshows so far. We haven't begun the marketing because that will be done after the prospectus is filed. The pre-marketing roadshows, there has been a very positive response. Our teams have gone out not only within India but to Mumbai and Chennai, but also to Singapore, Hong Kong and London, and they have come back with very positive response from the investors.
You, in FY11, you did a couple of interesting IPOs. I mean, towards the end, it became more of an FPO phenomenon, the divestment. In FY12, would it still be the FPO route because you're going to start off with ONGC, SAIL, maybe PFC? So that's pretty much the FPO route. Have you thought of any major IPOs over the next year?
You are right, Udan, in the sense that in FY11 we could do IPOs and FPOs, intermingle them. In fact, we started with an IPO, SJVNL. We followed up with EIL, which was an FPO. Then we did the Coal India, the mega IPO, followed up by PGCIL, FPO. Then we did the IPO of MOIL and followed up by Shipping Corporation. That would be an ideal situation. We always don't get that sort of a situation to handle. So this time we have, of course, very good companies. We have ONGC, we have SAIL, and we have Power Finance Corporation all lined up to go in March and April. As far as next year is concerned, we have one company which is should go in for an IPO. That is a Navaratna company, RINL, the Rashtriya Ispat Nigam Limited. That was given Navaratna status, so within 2 years it has to go in for an IPO as per the requirements. So that is a candidate we have. We are looking at some of the other smaller IPOs. We have NBCC, for example. We are about to move a note on NBCC, listing of NBCC. So definitely we don't have a candidate like Coal India, but we will be plugging for listing of more companies as per government's policy on disinvestment.
What